Y'all, before I go, I did promise I'm gonna make another video, but this might be another one video of the already that y'all looking at, but it's gonna be another video on, test taking strategies. Okay, I'm on the website on, I guess it's called Education Corner. I'm gonna like kind of use some stuff off for that as well, but then I'm gonna put in my own words, and I'm gonna also give you my own tips that I have. But I'm just going to tell you their definition, I guess their anatomy of multiple choice question. They have the case, they have the stem, that's the part of the question that's being asked, the distractor, and correct response. Don't listen to nobody else. In my eyes, I read the question first and then I look at the answer. People say I look at the answer first and then go to the question. No, I be in my head too much. My issue is I think more like a doctor or a nurse practitioner, because that's what I want to be, and I think I go in too deep when I study, and I want to keep it at a nursing level. I think that's one thing is I had to learn how to answer questions like a nurse, and I answer questions like a physician, because maybe my brain is like speaking higher, but it's like stay in your scope. So I think the first thing I would recommend you do is go on your board of nursing, or like what the board of nursing can do, like the tasks at RN or whatever program you're in. If you're in the LPN program, see what the LPN can do, and then RN and see what an RN can do. That was the first tip I'll give you if you're in nursing school, just because that way when you answering your questions, you have that little chart like, okay, this is my scope and this is what I can do as a nurse, because a lot of us could go above and beyond, and a lot of those questions, they kind of make you think like a doctor. A lot of those answers may be the wrong answers, so just stay in your scope. That's like the first thing I can say. This is a good one. Pyramid of what you can do, like remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, creating. They're basically saying like those are different things, but I want to give y'all my own scenario, what I do on my exams, because I passed every single last one of them, and I never failed a single class, to be honest. So you might get words like initial, first, best, most important, priority. All those questions, just think of them being priority questions. Automatically ABCs in the bottom of the Maslow hierarchy pyramid for physiological needs: food, water, shelter, sleep, comfort, all those. Any priority question, whichever can kill the patient first and save the patient first, that's what you do when you have a priority question. Don't you ever look at no question. If it says it's a homeless man in the street and a person with a UTI in the hospital, and there's a homeless guy on the street, who would you say first? The homeless guy. You want to know why? Because that's the priority. I said, who do you want to say first? You would say the homeless guy, because one, their physiological needs on the bottom of the pyramid is kind of off whack because they're homeless, and two, like I was telling you, they are the most priority over the UTI. So I'm telling you, like certain priority questions, you want to make sure you watch out for those, because those are the questions that will slap you in the face. And the two things you need to know is the ABCs. Is their airway, breathing, and circulation fine? If their airway, breathing, and circulation is fine, and you asking for a different priority, I'm already at that Maslow hierarchy of needs at the bottom of the pyramid, which is the physiological needs, and that's the most important. So yeah. Then you might have select all apply. Now that there's the new gen NCLEX, I would just say under select. If you don't know what all the answers is, like say for instance, a patient is having a pulmonary embolism, select all the signs and symptoms. Okay, they're gonna have severe chest pain, they're gonna have difficulty breathing, and are they gonna have paradoxical chest movement? I don't know. In my head, that's the wrong answer, because that's for flail chest. But if you're not sure, and then there's other answers like respiratory distress, and you still don't know, under select. You might as well under select and get partial credit and full credit. But I'm saying, and like, you know what I'm saying, you don't want to select the wrong answers and the whole answer be wrong. So you just want to just at least, if anything, just under select. If you feel like you for sure know those two, but the rest of them you don't know for certain, don't even select them. Just get half a points, then no points, for real. You might have a question where they're saying what needs further teaching. They're not going to plain out say which answer is wrong. They're going to always say which needs further teaching. That means which answer is wrong and which answer is wrong. And on these questions, I will still have background knowledge, but these questions, the biggest thing is the process of elimination. If any answer sounds similar, mark those off. That means you'll have a 50% chance of getting the right answer. But if not, and it's still like, you feel like it's still the wrong answer, like for instance, a patient is having left-sided heart failure, which response from the patient requires further teaching? I'm saying, maybe A, B, and C might be, oh, I will watch out if I have signs of hepatomegaly, jugular vein distension, and edema. And then the question C might be, answer C might be, oh, I'm gonna watch out if I have, no, I'm sorry. We're gonna say right side of heart failure instead of left side of heart failure. We're gonna say right. And then C gonna be, I'm going to we'll call the doctor if I'm having some type of, let's say, dyspnea and, chest pain. Well, C will be on further teaching, because in this aspect of, they're talking about teachers for right-sided heart failure, even though, yes, that is a dangerous sign and symptom of dyspnea and stuff. You don't really get that with right-sided heart failure. You get it with left-sided heart failure. So that would be the answer you will select. That means if you still didn't know what the right answer was, just do with those type of questions, you will do the process of elimination and you will get it anytime. Unfortunately, you might get bow tie questions as well. If your school has that, if you get bow tie questions as well, I would recommend figuring out reading a scenario and then the signs and symptoms that sound familiar. That's why I say you need to know your patho. You need to know what those diseases are. If you don't know what those diseases are, that's why I said watch, I would say, do the most 100 common disorders in the hospital that the nurses treat, and then I will go start with those, or then get a patho book and just do that, because that will give you more knowledge of the disease and disorders. So that way, and then know the signs and symptoms to the disease and disorders. Know what the disease is, what the signs and symptom is, and then what would you do as a nurse? Because those were our bow tie questions. Because it's the condition, what would you do next, and then what would you monitor? So those are those bow tie questions. Case studies, y'all. Case studies. My biggest tip for you guys with case studies is I would take a lot of notes. I would take a lot of notes that it seems not right, because them case studies can be long, and reading those and going through the labs and stuff, it can be aggravating and long, and then you might not have as much time to take your exams. I would just say jot down, our teachers, our professor, we always have scratch paper, so just write down some notes, and then generate an idea in your head of what the disease could be, and the different medications, and what can you do as a nurse. But it always boils down to, do you know what that disease is? Do you know how to intervene as a nurse? Do you know what to do if the interventions are not working? What would you do next? Do you know how to do the SBAR and call your doctor? And that's another tip I need to give you. Just like you give a report to the next nurse, just pretend the case study is a nurse giving you a report, and you're looking at the chart and stuff. I will create an SBAR to see what you're gonna do, because that'd be the easiest way for you to, go through those practice questions. So I would say make a little mini SBAR on your exam, or with the practice questions on NCLEX, just write a mini SBAR, and then just go from there with the case study, and it'll be the easiest thing. And then dosage calc is dosage calc. I got a couple videos on my page. I can make a lot more because I do a lot of dosage calc, but just making sure you just know your dosage calc, because then you might have a case study, because I have had a bunch of case studies where I had dosage calc in there, and then I had exam questions for dosage calc as well. So just know your dosage calc. And another thing, and this might sound kind of funny, but I would say get a good night's rest. Get a good night's rest before I take melatonin. So take melatonin around before your exam. Your exam at 8, take your melatonin before at 7 or 6. Don't eat or drink nothing bad, so that way you won't be bloating and everything, and you be bloating in class and everybody think you're farting and stuff or whatever. But we're all human. But I'm just saying, just concentrate, focus. A good mind, a good breath fix, and all that plays a big role in your exam. It ain't just always about learning the material and understanding the material. It's about, do you have the capacity to go through that exam, the long exam, especially NCLEX could be a long exam, and your exams could be long, because even my final exam is 100 questions, and it take me a couple hours. But just make sure you know your material, you have a good night's rest, and then you're ready to ace or exam, so that way you can start saving lives. So thank y'all for watching.